the guy who was doing all the files,
Visitron, yeah.
When he was mentioning the previous file names of record incidents, one of the things he mentioned was the roadbuster incident. What exactly did he do?
Yeah, that's... well, we're not going to tell you, are we? You got to buy the comic when it never gets made. But stuff like that is brilliant. Especially the roadbuster affair seems to have caught a lot of people's imagination. But I think it was just the colour, wasn't it?
No, literally an affair.
Yeah, it wasn't an affair, but a whirlwind affair.
I'm glad you asked that question actually, because that... Well, two reasons really. We like the idea that sort of throwaway references like that portray a wider universe, and the idea that things are happening all the time. This is a big thing with us. We like the idea of the Transformers universe sort of being sprawling and yet intimate, and things are happening all the time everywhere. And so you get these throwaway references to hopefully interesting sounding events that just haven't been chronicled yet, and maybe they will be by IDW, maybe not. And if they're not, people can fill in the blanks. And
it makes us look like we know what we're talking about as well, but the trick is just to make us look like we do. We don't actually have a roadbuster affair. Well, I might have. I'm sure you probably could. I'm sure you could probably. Yeah.
There is
squeeze one out.
There is. There's references to what's going on with the other records in the trade paperback, in the bonus material.
I don't want to be rude, can I just squeeze in for 1 second?
Yes.
I'm interrupting the records. Just so everyone knows, the hotel have asked me to make an announcement. For anyone who's leaving today, checkout is 12 o'clock. Apparently people are supposed to be leaving but aren't. So if you are leaving today, checkout is at 12 o'clock. Also there's a kiddies program starting downstairs, so cheers. Sorry guys.
I don't know, because I don't know if it's the dumb thing. And also there's lots of ideas that can be recycled there, and could easily be used in a different story, in a different context, and maybe not even in a Transformers story, So, part of me would love for you, just as a fan, some of the little ideas that we would have had, I'd love to go, wouldn't that have been cool? And it would have been cool, but it wouldn't have been what we ended up with, and what we ended up with was far better. Like it's really, there's like no regrets on the writing front anyway. There's absolutely no regrets.
What we might do is package up the scripts and put unused ideas are one thing, but deleted scenes if you like, or like I said, the issue 4, there's a lot more dialogue about Equitas and about who should be the one to die. They can be slotted back into the script quite neatly.
We can stick dipsticks swearing back in,
Just tirade.
The absolute tirade of filth. Yeah.
Dipsticks tirade of filth is quite a good. That's a new series.
I've got a question. Would you like to follow Hollywood's idea of remaking old movies by taking an old Transformers story, like say Tiger 2006, Prey, and giving it a weird twist?
Well, funnily enough, Records was written as a screenplay, or as a storyboard. It was supposed to have a very cinematic feel. Yeah. Essentially, the Dirty Dozen type thing in space was one of the early descriptions of it. And actually, the way the script was written, we've sort of come to realise there was a lot more detail in there, sort of in terms of visuals and things than
especially as I was the one drawing it. There's no need for me to write all that stuff. I knew I was going to draw. But as far as like remaking those stories, that was something I would have been interested in a few years ago. And when I was trying to get work with comic companies, like use those stories and redraw scenes from them. So I drew like 5 pages from Target 2006, and I feel like they're all on DeviantArt on Josh Burton's pages, I think, and stuff from issue 1 with Marvel's Transformers and stuff from Time Wars. But it kind of they've been done, and to be honest, stuff like Time Wars and Target 2006 and Prey and pretty much all the Birmingham-based stuff is pretty much perfect to my sort of rose-tinted fanboy eyes. So
Ukrainian basketball guys running around.
Once I tried doing like I tried using Andrew Wildman as a submission for a comic company, and you can't redraw or repanel the stuff any better than it's done. Wildman is peerless, I think, when it comes to pacing and paneling and storytelling. And so, yeah, I was just like, it was pointless So I think it'd be fun. It'd be kind of nice to sort of see interpretations by kind of current artists of old stories, and sometimes when they do like the reprints, IDW, you know, they commission new covers, so it's kind of cool to see that. And so, but I think that's as good as you're going to get, I think, you know. But I kind of wish I was around in the 80s to draw Target 2006. That would have been great, but you know, luckily Jeff Senior was around and he was pretty good then. So yeah.
Do you have any more plans for Shockwave? And if you have, can you give us any idea, or is that set up for something else?
In a way, that question goes back to an earlier one to do with, you know, Grimlock, and there was so many big names on Garrus 9, certainly big Decepticon names, and so it was necessary, if we were going to keep the focus on the Wreckers and on Overlord actually, to somehow dispatch or move out the way these other characters. And so yeah, we have Shockwave being, his head being reunited with his body and so on, and then he's off, and it's nice and open. We don't know who he's taken with him. We don't know, you know, what other big names are on board with him, or where they've gone, and that hasn't been. I mean, it's not saying that we'll pick up on that thread, but those threads, I'm sure, will be revisited.
Shockwave's like the hot girl at the Transformers convention, though. Everyone wants to have a go. Like it's like, I mean, but it's true. All the writers want to sort of like write Shockwave, and everyone wants to do something with him. So like he showed up in the ongoing recently, and you know, I think there are other plans afoot for him, but like he's so ingrained in the origins of the, you know, or the original origins of the IDW universe that, you know, he's never too far away, I think. But the ideas that we have in our head about who was on that ship with him and what he did are probably different than what's going to be revealed by whoever gets to continue the story. So, but hopefully we're kind of making it easier on future writers to sort of kind of introduce new characters or kind of pick up on all plot points. You know, it's nice to pass the ball around.
Yeah, certainly any big names that you didn't see on page in the Wreckers, Decepticons at least, may well have been on Shockwave's ship with him, and you know, and then gone on to do something else, and they'll top up somewhere else.
In the comics, you kind of turned Prowler for really kind of really interesting character what it was, and really quite almost cloak and dagger with his logic. It's quite dark and character nowadays. He was intended for grew out of what you were doing with him.
Yeah, well, they're at war, I guess, and even though he's a good guy, and he is a good guy, and he's like, but he's master strategician, you know, and it just kind of seems obvious. It kind of seems when you read the tech specs, and kind of that seems the way to play him, you know. He's not someone who wears his heart on his sleeve at all, and he's just tired of it. Like the sums don't add up. This war should be over. He knows how to do it. Just listen to me, he says. And he as in the Cup or the Prowl short story, I suppose it is in All Hail Megatron. He's got no interest in glory. He doesn't want, you know, to be Hot Rod or Optimus Prime even. Like, you know, he just wants things sorted. You know, he just wants things tidy and put away, and that's Prowl. And because all the other Autobots are so kind of like fun and kind of warm or have a kind of more relatable character, he just comes off the way I ride him, and the way James and I ride him as well. That he comes off slightly aloof and cold and detached, but.
And he's, you know, he's not malevolent or anything. He's just extremely pragmatic, and you get the sense that he's incredibly frustrated with the orthodox way of doing things, the conventional way of doing things. And as Nick says, he's probably thinking 40 steps ahead. And you know, if people would just listen to me and play it my way, this war would be over. So
but he's too cool to even have a strop about it. You know, he can't just stamp his feet because he's proud.
I think he internalises everything Prowl does.
So yeah. Yeah, he's gonna like grow a little angry little Prowl twin inside him, and he's gonna go on a rampage. So yeah, I'm just giving away a story.
It was something already hinted in the Autopedia stuff for Iron Fist. I'm sorry to give a second question, but will we see anything of the Wrecker ship having an alt modes?
Yeah. Well, because of All Hail Megatron. We came on board after All Hail Megatron, and we were kind of told that the Transformers universe and the universe in general is in disarray, and all the forces are scattered to the four winds, and they're completely resourceless, and they've only got like a handful of spaceships. And so that kind of told me that the Zampian was probably destroyed, which is a shame because it's got a lot of potential. You can kind of see the way Don designed it, that there's limbs and hands in there, and it'd be really cool. But yeah, I don't think we're going to come back to it now at this stage.
There's mention of it in Bullets in the short story, but that's not to contradict anything Nick said.
Yeah.
part of that rich Wreckers tapestry.
But yeah, the whole even finding transport for the Wreckers is kind of a problem because, like, the editorial decreed that there's only a certain amount of spaceships available. So, you know, we're going to have to work really hard to figure out how they try to get transported there and back and stuff like that. And Skylinks was briefly considered as a way out, you know. So, but yeah.
That's why it takes them a long time to get to Garrus 9 as well, isn't it? It's 8 months or something. Travelling in space. Yeah.
Now we know everything we need to know about it.
So presumably that there's a demand for more Wreckers type things or more.
Would you like to see some more?